'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour,
Denmark.
Lullaby, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Rillaby,
Denmark.
Lemmerville, Wallerville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Prospine, Alladala,
Denmark.
Darwin, Gingin, Lilliquin, Muckdilla,
Denmark.
Wallerville, Buggerville, Cumberland, Ramakiller. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
Yes, indeed. As you may have picked up, we are going to Denmark, but not that one, the other one, where we find Vicky Wilson. Hello, Vicky.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, thank you. You've got Neil here. The other voice you've already spoken to is Rob.
The one you whispered to you, Vicky.
Yes.
We got
Rob
carried away and I've got to ring you, and it was a big rush at the end, but thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
Tell us where Denmark is, and don't say somewhere near Sweden.
No. Denmark is a little town, a beautiful little town on the south coast of Western Australia, about 50 kilometres from the regional capital of Albany. That's where it is.
Now, you live in a little pocket which I have great interest in because I worked extensively in the grass seed industry, and you are, I would call, the sub-clover capital of Australia there, because you indeed have a variety named after you.
Oh, really?
You do.
What? Vicky Wilson seeds?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
There's a Denmark and there's a Dalkeith, and there's two other towns close to you that have one, and I can't remember the names of them, but I'm going to Google shortly to find out. But there's something you didn't know about your own town.
Exactly. I'm a bit surprised to find there's a grass seed named after Dalkeith as well, but never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, don't take that one to the bank. Rob makes things up at times.
It's a clover seed. Not grass. It's but very prominent subclover growing area in Australia, right where you are, and it's also a beautiful, beautiful place. I've driven through your town on the way to Perth, and it is a pretty part of the world. You've got that agricultural triangle in the bottom corner of Western Australia, but I reckon you've got the loveliest bit.
Yes, it's a very pretty town, and it's just on the edge. It's on the eastern edge of the Karri Forest that starts sort of just to the west of Denmark and then extend over to the west coast. And it's absolutely beautiful, the trees and the natural environment is.
And the roosters are just starting the day for you over there, I hear in the background.
Yes, and I'm sorry about that. That's my...
No, it's good. No, it's beautiful.
No, it's all part of the agricultural component of this program. So the good folks of Denmark obviously grow clover. What else do people do in that part of the world?
Well, from the farming point of view, it's there's a lot of fattening of cattle and not a lot of sheep because it's a bit wet. Quite a lot of horticulture, fruit growing, etc. So there's a lot of farming activity, but it's small scale, and a lot of hobby farms. A lot of people retire down here, and they live out their dream of a few acres and chooks and pigs and sheep and ducks and everything on old MacDonald's farm.
Yes. So you don't run the farm so much as become the CEO. CEO. Yeah, anyway, it was worth a try. Hey, how far is it to get to Perth?
It's 450 k's, so it takes us about 4.5 to 5 hours if we don't stop.
So you're not going down there to buy a pair of shoes?
No, and you don't come down here just for the weekend. You really need to come down for at least 3 days to make it worth the visit. So it takes half a day of travelling to get to and from Perth, which is of course our major capital.
Yes, it'll take a bit longer to get to the next nearest one, wouldn't it? You're very isolated in that neck of the woods.
It's like 3 days.
Yeah. So I have not been that far south in WA. I've been as far as is it Augusta, down near Leeuwin and that part of the world. The thing that I always associate with that corner of the world is it's really windy. Do you have that? You're quite exposed down in that corner of Australia.
Much more in Augusta than Denmark. I mean, Denmark is on the south coast and is tucked a little bit behind. So we do get a lot of wind, and certainly in the winter if you have a house on the top of the hill, the winds from Antarctica will blow you away. But the prevailing westerlies hit sort of places like Augusta, and we tend to be a little bit more protected from them, so it's not quite as bad. In fact, it's windier in Albany because they're on the way the coast curves there. So, yeah, Denmark is a little bit protected because we have some hills.
And is there a story that you know of as to why it is called Denmark and not China or, Taiwan?
Nothing to do with geography. It was
Right.
named after I can't remember whether he was a first lieutenant or captain or whatever, but his name was Denmark. I'll call him Captain Denmark. But, he was on one of the first ships that explored the south coast of Australia, and the town was named after him. So.
I'll just give you a little geography lesson here, Vicky. Nungarran, Dalkeith, Urana, Seaton Park, York, Trikala, Goss, they are all WA. Bindoon, there's another one. Narrackup, they might be all towns or regions close to you?
Yes, most of them are around us as well.
Yeah, well, they've all got clover varieties named after them as well as Denmark. So you are definitely in the heart of it.
Yeah.
There was another variety I've heard of. It's called four-leaf.
Four-leaf?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently people look over a four-leaf clover.
I thought that was in Ireland.
I remember the Bugs Bunny episode where, how did we get to Bugs Bunny?
I don't know.
I'm looking over a three-leaf clover that I overlooked be three.
Oh, dear me.
Never mind. Hey, Vicky, thanks for taking some time out of your Saturday morning. And, of course, for us, it's, almost 11 o'clock for you. You haven't had time for a coffee yet, I suspect.
No, I'm still working my way through my first cup of tea. So,
Excellent. Well, you've got the rooster going, you've got the cup of tea in front of you, you've got two blokes chatting to chat to. Does life get much better than that?
Absolutely.
If you want to know more about Vicky, of course, this is a shameless plug morning.
Yeah, go for it.
Vicky was also a guest on the Regional 250 a little while ago and talked about Denmark and that part of the world. So if you want to know a bit more, why not go and find that on your favourite podcast store? But Vicky, thanks for telling us about Denmark. I am going to get there one day and we'll sit down and have that cup of tea with the rooster in the background. What say you?
I think that's a really good idea. I'll look forward to it.
Best wishes.
Thanks, Vicky. Vicky Wilson there in Denmark, brackets not that one, the other one.